Hello, good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Let's clear something up today. If you've ever told yourself, I'm boring, let me tell you, you're wrong. You are not boring. You're human. You've lived. You've learned. You've experienced joy and pain. But if you struggle to connect with people, if conversations feel awkward or one-sided, the problem isn't you. It's simply a skill you haven't practiced enough. Conversation. Conversation isn't something you're born good at. It's not a talent. It's a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned, sharpened, and mastered. So today, let's explore some experience that can transform your conversations and remind you of just how interesting you really are. Have you ever walked away from a conversation and thought, why do I always sound so boring? Or maybe you've been in a room full of people laughing and talking effortlessly while you stood there silently, unsure of what to say. If so, I want to tell you something that could change how you see yourself. You are not boring. You just haven't been taught how to communicate your value. That's not a personality flaw. It's not a curse. It's a skill. And just like cooking, driving, or playing the guitar, it can be learned. The truth is, many of us mistake silence for dullness. We confuse awkwardness with unworthiness. But in reality, we all have something to say. We just haven't learned how to say it in a way that connects. Every person has a story, including you. But we tend to underestimate our own experiences because we live with them every day. What feels normal to you might be fascinating to someone else. Maybe you grew up in a small town. Maybe you've overcome a quiet personal challenge. Maybe you have a strange obsession with puzzles, music, or space. Whatever it is, there's a story in it. The key isn't whether your life is exciting, it's how you tell it. When you speak about something with genuine interest, it becomes interesting. Passion is contagious. The problem most people face is trying too hard to impress. We think that to be interesting, we have to be the funniest, the smartest, or the most well-traveled in the room. But real connection doesn't happen when you try to impress people. It happens when you make them feel seen, heard, and understood. The goal of conversation is not to perform, it's to relate. People don't remember fancy words or big accomplishments. They remember how you made them feel. If you want to be great at conversation, focus less on being impressive and more on being present. One of the simplest ways to do that is to learn how to ask better questions. A lot of people stick to surface-level questions like, what do you do? Or where are you from? But better questions invite stories, not just answers. Instead of asking what someone does, ask them what they love most about it. Instead of asking how their weekend was, ask them what the highlight was. Thoughtful, open-ended questions create space for deeper, more memorable conversations. They also show that you're genuinely curious, not just filling the silence, and when you do ask questions, don't just listen to reply, listen to understand. Most people are just waiting for their turn to speak. But if you really listen, if you make eye contact, nod, and respond with empathy, people feel it. They open up. They engage more. Because being a great conversationalist isn't about talking all the time. It's about making others feel safe enough to talk. When someone feels truly heard, they'll want to talk to you again and again. But good conversation isn't just about words, it's about presence. Your body language speaks before your mouth does. If you're slouched, avoiding eye contact, or distracted by your phone, you're signaling disinterest. But when you sit up, lean in slightly, smile, and make eye contact, you're saying without words, I'm here and I'm interested. You don't have to be the loudest in the room to be magnetic. Sometimes your nonverbal presence is what draws people in the most. What also helps more than you might think is letting yourself be a little vulnerable. You don't have to share your deepest secrets, but even saying something simple like, I've always been a little nervous in crowds, or I get awkward with small talk, can break the ice in a powerful way. When you admit your imperfections, people relax. They relate to you. Vulnerability doesn't weaken connection. It strengthens it. The truth is, people bond over realness more than perfection. Of course, none of this comes instantly. You can't expect to master conversation skills overnight. Like any skill, it takes practice. That means putting yourself out there, talking to strangers in line, starting small talk at work, saying hello even when it feels weird. The more you practice, the more confident you become. You'll stumble. You'll say awkward things. That's okay. Progress doesn't happen in silence. It happens in the mess. Keep practicing. Growth lives on the edge of discomfort. And lastly, you have to stop labeling yourself. The more you call yourself boring, awkward, or socially anxious, the more your brain believes it. Your mind will find evidence to support whatever story you tell it. So change the story. Instead of saying, "I'm not good at talking to people," say, "I'm learning how to be better at conversations." You're not boring. You're just learning. And you're allowed to be a work in progress. So let's set the record straight. You're not too quiet. You're not too dull. You're not too awkward. You're simply someone who hasn't yet unlocked the power of conversation. But you can. And when you do, you'll realize that the connection you were looking for was never out of reach. It just required a little courage, a little practice, and a belief that your voice matters. Because it does. In conclusion, remember this. People aren't born interesting. They become interesting by learning how to share themselves. You already have a story. You already have value. You just need the skills to let it shine in your conversations. So stop saying you're boring. You're not. You're just getting started. Thank you.